So in real estate sales, you are the product. You are the service. And a lot of real estate agents that I talk to, a lot of the ones that I serve, a lot of the ones that I have been coaching over the last couple of years, when I first meet them, they think that they are selling something outside of themselves being the actual product. Here's what I mean. And this is a huge, massive mistake that I was victim to for a long time in the beginning of my career. And so I want to hopefully get in front of this so you don't have to fall into this same mistake. What we think we're selling at a listing presentation, at a buyer consultation, we think that we have to sell this grandiose marketing plan to earn the business. We think that we've got to sell the fact that we do drone photos and professional photos and Matterport and 3D this, that, or the other thing, and that we have, come to life flyers and all these different things. A lot of amateur real estate agents think they are selling, which is going to help them earn business from clients, when in fact, probably the exact opposite is happening. Why? Well, because as soon as you start pitching and getting into, this is what I do, Bob, to sell houses. I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this. The second you do that is the very second you commoditize yourself. Because here's what happens. So a seller meets with you and you're interviewing to get the listing. You're at a listing presentation and you start getting into all these details. We call this acting like the mule, right? Because you want to justify what it is that you charge to sell houses. So you think it's very impressive for the seller to look at all this stuff you're going to do. I'm going to do open houses. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And then the seller says, okay, great. Well, what do you charge, Mr. Realtor, for all of that? And they say, well, I charge 6%. Well, then the seller, because you have commoditized your services, meaning you gave them a list of items that they now can use to go and shop other realtors against you. So they say, okay, well, I'll get back to you. And then they take that list of things that you say you're going to do, and then they go meet with another real estate agent and they say, well, listen, Susie, we met with Bob from Remax and he's going to do all these different things and he charges 6%. What can you do for me? And yet again, the amateur real estate agent shows up as the mule and they say, wow, he's going to do that and he's charging 6%. Well, I can do all of that plus this, and this, and I only charge 5%. To which the seller responds, they say, okay, great. Well, we'll get back to you. They get that list and then they go do that again with another real estate agent. And what we have trained the consumer to believe is all they have to do is, all the mules out there, all the amateur realtors, they're all the same, give and take this, that, or the other thing, or one's going to do drone photos, the other one's going to do aerial photos. And so all I have to do as the consumer is find the agent who gives me the longest list and will charge the least amount of money. And that is how I'll make my decision into which agent I'm going to hire. And the whole time, what we have to be doing, if we want to charge a fair rate of commission where you don't resent clients because the only way you won the business was by discounting your commission, but you earn the business on true value exchange, is by showing up as what we call the magician. In other words, we need to show up in delivering a message that comes from high value status, where you communicate in a way, because you are the product, you are the service, and you communicate the market in a way where the seller says, wow, we thought we knew a lot. I mean, this guy, he really knows his stuff. And the way in which you communicate can't be measured on a spreadsheet because it's all based on a feeling. You see the difference? When you show up as the magician and you're communicating with, we'll call it with confidence, with conviction, and you're able to communicate with that conviction where the seller believes that you know what it is that you're doing. It's a feeling you're evoking where the seller can't explain it. I don't know. We hired Brandon because, man, that guy knows his stuff. Oh, really? How? I don't know. We just felt. They can't even explain the feeling because we didn't show up as the mule. We're communicating from a place of high value status. And you communicate as such the expert that the seller can't help themselves but want to do business with you because you make them feel so comfortable. You make them feel so confident that the very thought of working with another real estate agent brings too much uncertainty. Because when you communicate as the magician and you communicate in a way where you give them absolute certainty that by listing their house with you, that is the best decision for the seller in a way that isn't rattling off features and benefits like you think it is, but but you're communicating from a place of true expertise. Sellers won't shop you. Sellers won't say, I have to think about it, I have to get back to you, because you're selling. You are the product. You are the service. It's not the drone photo. No one wants to pay 6% for drone photos. I'm telling you, I know it's crazy. What people will invest in is in a true exchange of value. And this is what I teach real estate agents to do, is how to show up at a listing presentation completely differently than every other real estate agent that seller most likely has ever talked to in their life. And it's all about how in which we present information, how in which we communicate the market, how in which we present our pricing strategy, how in which we present the positioning that we do with the seller's home in the marketplace, where the seller's like, oh my God, I've never heard any of this before. And so that's the way in which we teach the agents that we coach to show up and to serve. And so if you find yourself continuing losing out to other agents or having to discount your commission to earn business, well, I would invite you to have a conversation with us about potentially a coaching relationship where I can show you exactly how to show up to earn a high commission rate, because you provide so much value and the sellers are happy to pay it. I would invite you to have a conversation with me. I'll put a link right underneath this video. You can schedule some time that works best for you, and we can have a conversation. You'll have the opportunity to ask us some questions. We'll ask you some questions, and then together decide if working together maybe over the next 12 months in my Listing Agent Academy is of any value to both of us. And it will be clear after we have that conversation. So I will invite you to have that conversation. There will be a link at the bottom of this video, in the description, in the pinned comment. Schedule a time that works for you. And if now's not the right time for that and you're just not there, continue to digest these videos. That's why I make them, because if you're not ready for the level of a deep coaching relationship, I get it, I understand. And so in the meantime, continue to watch the videos. I will continue to put out 3, 4, 5 videos a week to help you build a very profitable listing agent business.